What's up, guys? We're here in the heart of Manhattan in New York City at the LEGO Rockefeller Store. This is one of LEGO's flagship stores across the world, and it's been under renovation, undergoing so many changes. And today, thanks to LEGO, we're actually going to be getting a little bit of a sneak peek inside the entirety of the store. Now, the first thing I thought when walking in was that, holy crap, this store is so much play-oriented. It's so much better looking than it was before. There's so many displays, so many play features that we're going to be going on through in today's tour. So if you guys are excited, drop a like down below. Now, to my surprise, there is so much in the store, and I don't think we're going to be able to quite possibly cover everything, so you guys will have to make that trip if you're ever around the Rockefeller area. But today we're going to do the best we can to get you guys shots of everything and show you everything that's brand new included in the store. Let's go ahead and get started.
So let's not waste any time. This store has a lot to unpack, and unfortunately myself and my videographer couldn't stay there for hours on end, no matter how much we would have liked to. So we're going to be doing a little bit of a speed run throughout the tour and showcase, showing you guys what the new store has to offer. I had the pleasure of speaking with the senior store manager who told me a quote that really resonated with me throughout the tour, and that was, "It's all about the experience, and the products are the souvenirs." LEGO is really pushing an experience for everyone who walks in, and you can see here there are so many drastic changes. And if you've been to the older Rockefeller store, I think you'll definitely going to notice some of these changes right off the bat without me even having to tell you. But the general experience overall, especially on the first and second floor, again, the store is 2 floors, which is pretty cool. It's a very intensive and involved experience for literally anyone walking in. So if you're looking for something more to do than just simply buy LEGO, this is going to be a pretty good store for you. I mean, heck, you have a life-size taxi as soon as you walk in off to the right. You know, Captain America and Iron Man, pretty big builds, nothing crazy, but you can actually go inside the taxi, which is cool. There's completely open sides on the right side of the taxi. You go in, sounds come on, everything like that. It just makes you feel like you're actually in a taxi and not necessarily in a LEGO build. On the right side of the store, you have beautiful displays of so many iconic New York landmarks. You have the Brooklyn Bridge here, fully lit up with a beautiful sky backdrop. And of course, you have Spider-Man on top, a really, really big version of Spider-Man that's held up and suspended by the ceiling, which is amazing. Truly amazing sights to see. You also have the Freedom Tower, other skyscrapers. You have pretty much a full-on city. Of course, it's kind of, you have to have the New York City in the Rockefeller Center store. And here's just a better look, a little bit of a bigger look at just what this display has to offer. You have the Marvel building, you have the Avengers building, you have the LEGO building, the Empire State Building, the Statue of Liberty. Again, things we kind of knew were going to be in the store, but once you go in and marvel at it, it's crazy. In fact, I believe in total there were over 5 million bricks that span throughout the entirety of the store display. And here's another fun one. You have a Hulk who's so heavy he's laying and weighing down the bench, which is super cool. Photos are going to be cool with him on that bench. Now, as far as display goes, something very interesting with the store is that it's a very different perspective on sets that are on display. Traditionally, when you go into LEGO stores, there's a display case and you can't touch it, but here you can actually touch everything. Now, obviously, it's all screwed down. You can't lift it and steal it, but you can feel the sets, you can feel the minifigures, all that kind of stuff, and that makes it more involved. Like this, where you can actually look through a magnifying glass. You can actually see your set up close, especially if the Millennium Falcon, for instance, is something that you're looking forward to. So the whole experience of looking at the product and feeling the product and getting a feel for everything in the store. Now, this Rockefeller store is the only LEGO store in the world to 100% offer this completely new experience, which is definitely worth going. Now, as far as product arrangements, it's very similar. You have all the exclusives, LEGO ideas, all that cool stuff right next to each other. Then you mix into Technic and other cool stuff like that. You have the Creator Expert series, the modular buildings, everything with the layout and the themes and how you find the product is very similar to LEGO stores. It is going to be a little bit different, but everything's going to be a little more out in the open. So again, it's encouraging you to get involved. Now, the centerpiece of the first floor is what I called the LEGO Tree of Life, for lack of a better term. And if you pause the video, you can actually see some really cool Easter eggs that were pointed out to me. I'll let you guys do that as you're watching the video. It's a ginormous tree. The roots go throughout the entirety of the first floor, which you guys will see in just a second, but there's so much awesome detail, animals, tree bark, and pretty much everything you can imagine in terms of detail smacked on here. And this is a great example. You can actually walk on top of the routes, and all the routes have different themes going on within them that the employees, I believe, have actually added their own taste to. And what's really cool is that there's a brand new animatronic feature to these giant Lego minifigures. In fact, you could actually see here on Emmett, his mouth and eyes will move, which is pretty cool. They interact with you when you walk by, they'll speak, they'll make these really cool gestures. It's just a really cool experience. Now, there is a second floor, like I said, and as you walk up, you'll see this sort of old style firehouse brick looking building with some brick built windows. You have a fireman climbing up, just typical New York things like the Lion King on Broadway. Again, it's just embodying typical day in New York City. You can see here we have even more firefighters saving dogs, saving cats, saving the grandma, all the typical stories. And you can see that second floor is pretty high up. It's a very sizable store, and as you walk up the first flight of stairs, of course, you have Batman watching over you, coming in and swooping for an attack, which actually kind of caught me off guard the first time I saw it. Once you get up to the second floor, there's a lot more surprises here, and you can take a look. You do still have all the product, but there are a lot more features on the second floor in terms of products you could actually focus on. In terms of a minifigure build station, you also have the pick and build wall, which is of course something I was naturally interested in. You do have the random minifigure build stations and the Minifigure Factory. You have the mosaic maker and just a lot of cool stuff on the second floor. And of course you have the very standard normal retail space. I would say the second floor is probably geared more towards retail, where the first floor kind of has that initial awe factor. So like I mentioned before, you have the Minifigure Factory. Now, I've actually never personally used it. I know this is only one of, I think, 2 or 3 in the United States. One is in, I know for a fact, the Disney Springs store. So if you guys are looking to make your own minifigure, you could do that totally in terms of printing it custom, getting your own pieces, all that kind of great stuff, and uploading files even to make your truly own minifigure and just completing the experience. And you get to see it all made in front of you at the LEGO Minifigure Factory on the second floor of the store. Other stuff here, of course, you do have the sort of make your own minifigure, the typical make your 3 minifigures for $9.99. Of course, that's kind of standard in the entirety of the LEGO group. Now you also have the pick and build wall. This was my favorite part because obviously I'm a mock builder, and it's a little smaller than I anticipated. They are moving towards scoops, which is probably a little bit better, probably going to eliminate spilling Lego pieces, which I know is a problem. But the pick and build was a little bit smaller than I was anticipating, but once I obviously saw that there were so many other things, I kind of was okay with it, if that makes sense. Now, of course, you do have the regular checkout station. You have, I believe, 12, more than that, honestly, 12 registers throughout the entirety of the store, which is pretty crazy if you think about it. You also have this really cool new experience called the Brick Lab. This is going to be an individual paid experience where you could actually have kids and families go into this, create their own world, make their own builds, and you can bring the build to life virtually and play it on the screens. That's really cool, and I think you guys are going to like that as well. Well, that was a lot, and like I said, we kind of had to speed run through the store. Ideally, I would have loved to stay there for 3 or 4 hours and done a complete room tour styled video, but I tried to highlight everything that's most exciting for you guys in today's video. The official launch of the store, the first day you can go in, is June 25th, so if you are in the New York City area, you want to stop by, I definitely think this is absolutely worth your time. Going in, seeing what's new, and just getting a load of the new experience is going to be really cool, especially if you've been to other LEGO stores, or if you're like me and you've been to the Rockefeller store. It's going to be pretty mesmerizing to see how much has drastically changed. I know when I walked in, I was just completely floored and my sort of mouth dropped, and I know the staff even told me that their favorite thing is to watch people coming in for the first time. So I do want to give a huge thank you to LEGO, the entirety of the staff at the Rockefeller store. They were nothing but awesome hosts to us, allowing us to go in and film and get a pretty cool sneak peek at what's coming up. So like I said, guys, stay tuned for that grand opening on June 25th. Let me know down below, are you guys going to be going to the store? Are you guys going to be buying anything? Honestly, you can go for the experience alone without buying stuff, and I think it's going to be worth your trip. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy today's video, drop a like down below. Make sure you subscribe. Let me know what you guys are thinking of this brand new Rockefeller store. Like I said, depending on feedback, we might be seeing more features like this implemented in your local LEGO store. But the only place in the world that's going to offer this complete experience is here in Rockefeller. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you later. Take it easy. Peace.